Welcome, viewers, to Bodhi Unified Flow. I'm Dr. Masramutu, your host. Here, we simplify complexity and amplify performance. Today, we're exploring a foundational concept in project management, the iron triangle.
By the end of this explainer, you're going to have a really clear grasp of what the iron triangle is, how it actually works in the real world, and importantly, why it's evolving. Think of it as the constant balancing act at the very heart of every single project.
Okay, let's dive right in. First, we'll define the triangle. Then, we'll see how its moving parts create this constant push and pull. We'll also uncover the absolutely critical role of quality. And finally, we'll take a look at how this classic model is being updated for today's world. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is this iron triangle? And why has this simple idea been a cornerstone of project management for decades? Well, the concept was introduced way back in 1969 by Dr. Martin Barnes, and the idea is that project success really hinges on balancing these three competing forces. It's a simple but incredibly powerful way to visualize the tough choices every project manager has to make. First up, we have scope. Now, think of this as the what of the project. It defines the size, the features, and all the work that needs to get done to deliver a successful result. It's basically the blueprint of your project's goals. Next is time, which is the when. It's the project's timeline, from the starting gun all the way to the finish line. This constraint includes all those crucial deadlines and milestones that keep everything moving forward. And finally, we have cost. This is the how much, the budget, the financial fuel for the project. It covers everything, all the resources needed to get the work done, from labor and materials right down to the electricity bill. The keyword here is interconnected. You just can't change one point of the triangle without forcing the others to move. This constant dance is what leads us to the heart of the model, trade-offs. And this brings us right to the core mechanic of the iron triangle, the trade-off. This is where the theory gets real, and it's where managers make their most critical decisions. This table, it lays out the cause and effect perfectly. Just look at that impact of change column. If you increase the scope, you see it requires more time or cost. If you try to shorten the time, your cost goes up. It's a relentlessly honest relationship. There's no escaping it. This quote just captures the essence of the challenge perfectly. You have to make a choice. You could have it fast and cheap, but the scope might suffer. You could have a huge scope done quickly, but you can be absolutely sure it will not be cheap. This is the fundamental compromise at the heart of the triangle. Here's a practical construction example to make it real. A client makes a last-minute change. They want to add more space to a building. That forces a decision. To maintain balance, the project manager has to adjust to the other constraints. Either the cost goes up to get more resources, or the schedule has to be extended. There is no third option. So the crucial point is understanding what happens when you try to defy this logic. What is the hidden cost of ignoring this balancing act? It's a very tempting scenario, isn't it? For instance, what if a client demands a larger scope but flat out refuses to increase the budget or extend the deadline? What gives? Quality is the answer. If the triangle is broken, if that balance is ignored, the quality of the final product gets compromised. Teams are forced to cut corners, they rush through complex tasks, or they use inferior materials. You see, quality isn't a fourth constraint in this model. It's the result of how well you manage the other three. Now, while the iron triangle is a really powerful tool, its simplicity can also be a limitation, especially when you're dealing with the complex risks of modern projects. A project delivered on time and on budget, but marked by a bunch of safety incidents, well, that can't be called a true success, can it? Factors like safety aren't just outcomes. They have a direct and measurable influence on all three of the traditional constraints. This realization has sparked an evolution in thinking, moving from a flat, two-dimensional triangle to a more robust, three-dimensional pyramid. And this really changes the entire approach to what we consider a core constraint. The iron pyramid proposes that safety isn't just some side concern or desirable outcome. No, it's a fundamental pillar that directly influences all other aspects of project success. It's a fourth vertex, a foundational constraint that must be actively managed right alongside the original three. So, to recap our journey, we've defined the classic iron triangle. We've understood its mechanics of trade-offs, we've placed quality right at its core, and we've seen how it's evolving to meet modern demands. And this leaves us with a final thought.
As projects become more and more complex, dealing with factors like sustainability, data security, and stakeholder satisfaction, how will our models for success continue to evolve? What do you think will be the next foundational constraint we add to this framework?
Thank you for joining us on Body Unified Flow. I hope this explainer has helped simplify the complexities of the iron triangle.